The Creation Care Fund is an effort that supports grassroots Christian environmental efforts around the country, helping churches or organizations or other Christian ministries make a difference on key environmental issues right now. With the effort this fall around sort of educating people at the national level about the need for climate action, Restoring Eden was able in just about a 3-week period to, well, about 6 weeks total, 3 weeks of recruitment and then 3 weeks of actually doing it, pull in over 70 Christian college students from Indiana, Arkansas, Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, places that we typically don't get a lot of people speaking up about climate change a whole lot, and get those Christian students into D.C. To meet with their members. And they got a half-hour meeting with Senator Brownback, an hour-and-a-half long meeting with Congressman Inhofe's staff, people that, you know, I don't think a lot of secular environmental folks are able to reach so easily, and heard from numerous Senate staffers that you're exactly the type of people we need to be hearing from. We're not hearing from enough of you back home or here in D.C. So just totally timely, totally inspiring, totally smart work. If you're a Catholic or a Jew or a Lutheran, you're already part of a community. In some cases, that community might be 50 or 60 million people in this country, or it might be 6 million. Regardless, those are way bigger than any secular environmental group, even at the national level, let alone within our state or our region here in REAMP. And so part of the faith message is that you're part of something much larger. Part of it too, I think, is that it puts environmental efforts in a broader context, a broader moral context, or a broader values frame. And I think very few of us are just only environmentalists. We're brothers, we're sisters, we're parents, we're friends, we're consumers, we're producers. Our lives aren't just about being environmentalists, even if that's what people do for a living or it's a part of their passion. And so it puts environmental stewardship in a broader context in terms of values, morals, sort of social context. By the time I was in high school and college, I was a pretty rabid anti-Christian myself. Went to Dartmouth, went on to work for Green Corps right out of college and worked all over the country on environmental campaigns, and then moved to D.C. to work for Greenpeace and worked for them for a little over 3 years. And somewhere in there met the woman who's now my wife, and somewhere through her family and through conversations and other experiences started to change my sort of anti-rabid Christianness. Eventually went to work for the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America as an advocate for them in D.C. on environmental issues, and ended up sort of reclaiming my Christian roots and my Christian identity, and sort of coming to God as an adult, sort of for the second time. So it's been a mix of hardcore secular, total tree hugger environmental stuff, and then for the last 5 years or so, it's been this very different and yet still somewhat complementary path of very rooted, faith-based environmental efforts. And so it's been both a really great personal and professional change in the last 5 years. For the last couple of years, I've been coaching high school ultimate frisbee here in the Twin Cities at Mounds View High School, just north of St. Paul. And I have taken up curling since moving to Minnesota. So talk about two relatively obscure seasonal sports. And then most recently, my wife and I welcomed our first little baby into the world, a little daughter named Solveig Marie. And so I spend as much time as possible with her. Totally marveling at that little corner of creation.